Flosstube, Calico here with a mid-October update, and I think the last time that we spoke was July, but I don't know that for sure. I know it's been a while. I usually take a gander at my video that I did just before this so I can see where I left off and kind of not get any overlapping, but I didn't do that, so I'm going to assume that I'm not showing you the same stuff again, but if I do, you forgot about it anyway, right? Because it's been so long. So, yeah. I've gotten some done. I've got some things to talk about. Where to start? Okay, let's see. I've got several piles here, and I was just going to wing it, but I hate when I don't know what I'm talking about first. But anyway, it's fall. Fall has arrived, guys. So, excuse me while I sip on my warm beverage. It's nothing exciting, it's a black coffee. I know, so boring. Anyway, it's loaded with caffeine, and that's what I like. So, yes, as I look out my window and see the fall leaves changing, I got a beautiful yellow tree out there and some, yeah, quite a bit of birds out there, bird feeder. I'm not going to show you because my yard's kind of a mess right now. And I have the hose hanging in front of the window, so yeah. Anyway, you'll just have to take my word for it that it looks really nice outside and nice and fallish. So, okay, let's get started. You're not here for the weather, you are here for stitching. Where did I leave off? Okay, so this is where I can't remember if in my video I talked about my the Crazy 7 starts. Okay, let me think back. When was Crazy 7? Was that July? The beginning of July? Middle of July? Oh, I should have looked. Anyway, I did participate in the Crazy 7. That's where you start 7 projects, one each day for 7 days through the Facebook group Cross Stitch and Discuss. And I don't remember the order I did them in, and I don't remember if I actually showed you my starts, but I will. I think what I'm confusing is that I told you about what I was planning on doing. But I did start those. The first one I'm going to show you first because I don't have the picture of it. This is called Fallen Leaves, and I know it's from one of the magazines, and I'm going to insert a picture to show you so you'll see what it's looking at. But this right here is the bottom of a tree trunk, and it's just going to have some fall leaves and a black bird. And anyway, I'll insert a picture and you can see. But I haven't gotten too much done on that. I don't know if the color looks as good. I should probably apologize again for where I'm filming. I'm still in my basement and it's still unfinished. We're working on it, chipping away bits at a time, but we've got some things covered in plastic over there, the treadmill. See, now I have an excuse for not using it because it's covered in plastic, right? And there's an elliptical rider over there too, and it's covered in plastic too, so I guess I don't have to use it either. That's what I tell myself anyway. Anyway, back to this. So yes, I haven't gotten too much on that, but I actually was working on this earlier this morning. So, and I never remember to tell you guys what fabric I'm on because most of the time it's something boring and, you know, usually my 18 count Fiddler's Ada by Charles Craft that I love, and I stitch everything on that. But this is 32 count earthen Belfast linen, and I love it. I love it. Probably because right before this I was stitching on something that I didn't like at all. It was a really stiff 14 count Ada. I don't know, one of my other ones, I'll show you that one next, but it was really uncomfortable to stitch with. And then I started stitching on this and it was just so pleasant. A little difficult to see, but not too bad. As a matter of fact, I went to the eye doctor and I do have to wear glasses now. So I will be wearing those maybe in my next video because I haven't actually picked up my glasses yet. But yeah, you know, I was always kind of impressed that the fact that I'm almost 50 and I haven't had to wear glasses yet because I had what was called monovision, where I can see, one eye can see good far and one can see good close. And so I got by pretty well. This past year, I have noticed that when I'm driving, I can't see street signs. I mean, I'm like right on those street signs, and I always have to ask the boys, what street is that, guys? What does that street sign say? So when you get to the point that you have to start asking people what everything says, then yeah, it's time to go get your eyes checked again. So the eye that used to see good far used to be 20/25, and it went to 20/50 in a year. So that explains that. But she said, so now I'm nearsighted, so I don't need glasses for close-up work. She said I could use like a light prescription to see close-up, but that for the most part, I'm doing pretty good just the way it is, and I don't seem to have much of an issue. This was 32 count, and I do pretty good as long as as long as the light is good, and I do have a magnifier that I use if I need to, but so far so good. So yes, I'll definitely need to wear glasses when I drive, especially at night too. So okay, another tangent, sorry about that. Okay, where was I at now? Okay, well, I've gotten only through one thing, so let me keep myself organized there. So I inserted a picture of that. So the next thing I started was this Morning Doves by the Crossed-Wing Collection, which, wow, when I'm just looking at this right now, I really want to start, I got to get back to this. And I'm stitching it on a 32 count Stormy Night. This looks like Lugana. Oh, no, this is a linen. I wonder what this is. Stormy Night, I don't know, 32 count. But I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to stitch it on something so gray, but you know, it kind of looks just like that in the picture. So I think it'll be perfect. So, okay, got that started, and I'm definitely going to be working on that. I'll tell you guys, there are so many things I want to stitch right now that are fall and Halloween related. It's just, I can't stand it. I need more hours in the day. As I'm sure a lot of us know out there, we all go a little gaga over October, whether we're stitching fall stuff or Halloween stuff. I mean, it is a great month for stitching, isn't it? I mean, there's so much to do. So this one is another start for the Crazy 7, and it was, I think I had intentions of doing both of these. It's a pincushion pair, and they're really cute. And I saw them, I thought, I'm going to stitch up both of those on one piece of fabric. But after stitching yesterday, or was it this morning and yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, on this fabric that I'm working on, it's terrible. I've decided I'm only going to do one of those because it's just not enjoyable. So it's this big piece of fabric, and I just did this little bit, and this needle minder I made because I had a button from, I think it's from the Just Another Button company, and it was for a project I was going to put it on, and I never did use it. So I made a needle minder out of it because I didn't have a Halloween one yet. So anyway, that's all I've gotten done on that. And I think I'm going to do the one with the crow on the pumpkin, I think is the one I'm going to do. And it calls for, actually all of this color around here is actually stitched in like an ecru. And I'm not going to do that. This is already ecru fabric. Save the stitches, right? Save from doing the stitches is what I say on this one because it's horrible fabric. So anyway, yeah, there's that. Moving on to the next one is, oh, I forgot to put this, I forgot to get what this one's called. This is from Just Cross Stitcher. I'll have to insert a picture of it too. I don't know what year, but it's from a Christmas edition. And it's one of those kind of way back a few years ago because I forgot completely about it. And I thought, when I saw it, I was just looking for things to do, and I thought, I'm going to do that. Oh my God, this is so cute, guys. Wait till you see it. Okay, it's going to have 9 reindeer on it. I've only stitched one, but you guys tell me how cute this is. Is that the most adorable reindeer you've ever seen? I've started another one over here because all 8 reindeer plus Rudolph are going to be stitched kind of in a grid, and then I'm going to turn this into a pillow, just like they did on the magazine. It is so cute, but oh my God, look at that face. Oh my God, it's so cute. Anyway, maybe I should have said, oh my gosh, I don't know. Sorry if I offended anybody with that, but oh my, OMG, OMG, there we go. Anyway, cute. I can't wait. And ignore my tape. Yes, I use tape. You know, who cares? I'm going to cut it off. So you tape, Flosstube police out there, just ignore that you saw that I do. Yes, I've been stitching a lot of years and I should know better, but I like to put tape on the outside edges of my fabric if it's going to get cut off. So there. Okay, staying on the theme of Christmas, another start and a finish that I got on the Crazy 7 is this one. And it is from Samplers Not Forgotten. And, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. From which issue? It is also from a magazine. It's from the Christmas Ornaments issue of 2015 of Just Cross Stitch. And yeah, that stitched up really quickly. Most of these, if I don't say otherwise, they're just on my 18 count Fiddler's Ada that I use for everything. I think this was one that I actually stained, did like a tea stain on. And I put the date. You know, I'm sampling. I know a lot of people have been asking questions about whether you date your fabric, your projects, or initial it. You know, I have initialed some I don't. You know, if I don't think it'll look good on it, then I don't do it, and I really should become more consistent with that. But this one, I thought, you know, it's for Christmas, and I do at least like to know the year that I stitched it. You know, whether or not it's, you know, gonna have my name on it, I haven't really decided where I am gonna go with that, because, you know, I just don't know what's gonna come of my projects, you know, years down the road. I mean, I have 2 boys, and I really don't think they're gonna save my stuff, and, you know, my initials aren't gonna mean anything to anybody when they pick this up at Goodwill someday. So they're gonna be like, who's CMS, and why does that matter? So I think the year is more important. So anyway, yes, moving on. This is another one I started for Crazy 7. I think because I had 7 projects here that must have been the ones I did for Crazy 7. This is the Halloween branch. I think it's called Halloween branch. Haunted House, Halloween the Branch, Haunted Bird House by Bend Creek. And I did very little on that when I started on the Crazy 7, but I picked it up last week, and I just whipped through this because I figured it would be perfect for #Dark October stitching that was started by Emily at Eclectic Possessions. Hi, Emily. I love your videos, especially around Halloween, because you just have well, you know, you're just like macabre and perfect for Halloween. If you guys haven't checked out Emily at Eclectic Possessions, I encourage you to do so, especially if you like things a little bit on the dark side. Okay, and this is my finish for it. Isn't that cute? I added, I think I made a couple of changes, and what was it? Well, I didn't use any of the called for threads because they were I think it called for weak dye works and stuff, but I added this bat over here because, I don't know, without that there, I kind of felt like it was uneven for some reason, because this bottom goes out a little bit farther than the top, and so I thought, oh, I'm going to put a bat there, and then I felt like this needs something, so I might stitch something here, like, I don't know, maybe I was thinking about kind of putting a moon or something back there, and then moving that star a little lower. It just doesn't feel balanced to me, you know, but I don't know, let's be honest, I'll probably just put it in a box and forget about it like I do all the rest of my stuff. But my intentions are to put a moon there. And the button they gave me here that's supposed to be the O for Halloween, I think they gave me too big of a button, because the one on the picture is much smaller than that. So maybe I'll replace that with a smaller button at one time. But either way, I think it's adorable. Bent Creek. Okay, that's all there was for that. Somewhere around that time, I think maybe a week before I started this, it's the very first Just Nan project that I picked up, and I was at my local needlework store, and I picked it up and thought, oh, that is just so cute. I should have got the little tin with the bird nest and the eggs on it, but I didn't, because I figured, well, I'll see if I get this stitched first, and if I ever get it stitched, I'll go back and get that, because I haven't ever done anything like this where it needs to be, you know, kind of stitched and turned into this cute little, I don't know what, just pin cushion, I guess it could be. So anyway, I have finished it, and this was on, this to me looks like an 18 count blue that was gifted to me, and it was perfect for this. The color is not all that great. It's showing, everything's kind of showing a little bluish, I think, but I mean, it is blue, but it's giving it even a more bluish tinge. But it just has some buttons on it, which you can see. Oh, it's not focusing. But anyway, it's going to be folded in half, and yeah, right after I finished it, I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to go finish that up. And then I started reading the instructions, and you know, it's got some wire that you twist for the legs, and you got to cut this little piece of felt for the beak and put some, what's it called, the interfacing that's got some loft to it. I can't remember the name of it, but at the time my brain just wasn't ready to do something like that, so I put it away. I have to just do that some other time when I'm ready to do a finish. I have to get set up for that stuff, and then when I do, I like to finish a whole bunch of things at once, because my sewing machine is all kind of put away, and you know, my crafty stuff that I need to have, you know, the foam, the polyfill and all that stuff, it's all put away. And it's just too much to get it out, so another day, but I definitely want to finish this because it's just really cute. Okay, moving on. Anybody that's been following me at all knows I've been working on the birds of the month, and that's going along still lovely. I think the last time, I don't know if I had finished July, because I think it was in July that I did it. So we've got our American goldfinch right there. These, I'm still loving stitching these. They go so fast. They're one of those, now I'm getting, I wouldn't say burned out on them, but toward the end of the year right now, there's just so many other things that I want to work on. So many fall and Halloween, and I want to get out my autumn, Glory of Autumn, because that was going to be a finish this year. If you watched me last year, I had a hard time putting it away, but I said, you know, I want to save that for next year because there's not much left to do, and I want to finish that. So that's definitely something I'm hoping to get out before, maybe that'll be my November stitch, kind of my main focus piece of November. But anyway, so I got the goldfinch done, and this I know I was on vacation in July, and I brought this because when you go on vacation, you bring all kinds of cross stitching, right? Because you just think, if I have time, I have to be able to stitch, right? So I didn't just bring one project with me. I brought like 10. I just brought my bag that had all my whips in it. Pretty much all this stuff, I just brought the whole bag, because you never know, you might finish something and want to start something new, and you always think that way. But I only did like 20 stitches in the whole 10 days I was gone. But I had it just in case I needed it. So I do remember working on that, and then I came back and I was kind of feeling a little bit behind, and so I made these my priority, and oops, I'm getting ahead. August, and this here is a summer tanager, which I don't get in my area. I don't get any beautiful red birds like this. I don't get cardinals or these beautiful red birds. I'd love to see one. So that was lovely. I changed something on that one. No, not that one. That one I kept the same. I changed something on the September bird. It's not anything real obvious, but I had stitched the whole thing, and the very last thing I had to stitch was like the very lightest color green on the tips of each of these leaves. And I thought, you know, it's September. And when I look out my window, I see the leaves starting to turn brown. So I'm going to substitute that green for a brown color. Cowgirl Kate, you'll be proud. I substituted a color, and I did it successfully. I am just so nervous to do that. But if you look, I just kind of added a little bit of a brown just to make the leaves look like they were starting to turn a little bit for September. And I don't get these in my area either, the rose-breasted grosbeak, but we do get a different grosbeak that's yellow and kind of yellow-orange. Can't remember the name of that one. Drawing a blank. I had one in my yard one time. I think he had lost his way and stopped at my feeder, and I first thought it was an oriole, and I called my bird store and I said, I got an oriole in my backyard, and I told them it was a Baltimore oriole, and I live in Colorado, right? And they're like, oh, he would really have to be out of his way for you to see a Baltimore oriole in your backyard in Colorado. So they're like, why don't you bring a picture in so we could see it? And sure enough, it wasn't. It was a grosbeak that I had hopefully saw as a Baltimore Oriole, but it wasn't. We get Orioles here, but man, I am just drawing a blank on my bird names right now. What's the other kind of Oriole that we get here in Colorado? God. Oh, never mind. I need some more caffeine to stimulate my brain. Okay. Oh, coffee's getting cold now. Because I've been rambling. Moving on. I think I only have one more thing to show you when we're finished, actually, it happens to be. So I went to Yellowstone this summer. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. We went, I think you saw in my last video that we had decided to take our trailer to Yellowstone. It was going to be a 10-day trip, and we were just going to drive from Colorado to Yellowstone, and we took our time. So we didn't really spend a lot of time in Yellowstone. I was only there for 2.5 days, and I could have spent weeks there. It is so beautiful. I mean, if you like to take pictures, I mean, it's just beautiful. And we just barely scratched the surface of what there is to see in Yellowstone, but I loved it, loved it, loved it. I really want to go back. It was beautiful. But we stopped along the way in some different places in Wyoming and just kind of took it easy and camped and, you know, made s'mores and all that good stuff. And my husband just bought a drone, and he wanted to fly his drone out in the middle of nowhere. So we thought, gee, Wyoming, there's going to be tons of places to fly the drone where, you know, it won't be off bounds, illegal to fly it basically because it goes really high. But yeah, everywhere we went in Wyoming, it was windy because when you're in the middle of nowhere, well, then you get a lot of wind. So he was disappointed that we didn't have a lot more drone footage like he wanted. Of course, you can't fly the drones over Yellowstone unless you want to end up in jail or with a hefty fine. So, although it would have been really cool, could have got some really cool footage there. All right, another tangent. Anyway, when I went there, because I absolutely love national parks. I'm obsessed with national parks. And there's one right in my backyard. So I'm digressing a little bit again. I live very close to Rocky Mountain National Park, which is in Colorado, and it's about 45 minutes away from me. And I think I've been there one time. I mean, it's kind of weird. You have those things in your backyard, and you don't even take advantage of them. But I really want to start, seeing as many national parks. I think that's where we're going to start making our family vacations, is kind of some destinations, because there's a lot that are right. Colorado, Utah, right close to where I live. I can on a single road trip hit a lot of national parks, and so I've decided to collect a cross stitch from each of the national parks like I had started. I think I've showed you these. I know I've showed you these before in my previous videos, but there's this company called the Posey Collection, and at all the national monuments and national historical sites and national parks, they always have a cross stitch. Oh, it hit me. I got a Flosstube itchy nose. Yay! Anyway, these are ones I've collected in the past. So I picked one up at Mount Rushmore, which I haven't stitched yet. And then when I was there, we went to Crazy Horse, and I picked up that one. And then we went to Devil's Tower. This was last summer, or the summer before. So we hit a few of those national monuments, but I hadn't had any from national parks yet. So starting fresh, my boys, the first national park, official national park that they've been to is Yellowstone, which is fitting since it was actually the first national park, the first park to become a national park, and it was kind of nice that we hit it on the 100th year birthday of national parks. So I for sure picked up Yellowstone, Old Faithful. They had two of them. They had one, and then they had, and I'm wishing I would have picked it up too. It was the bison, and it was like just bison and a bear and a moose, I think it was. But I just thought, I'm just going to pick up Old Faithful because I only need one of each one. So I picked that up. As you can see, these aren't really detailed. They're pretty quick stitches. They're not something that's going to take, forever and a day to do, which I sort of like that about it and sort of don't. I think, gosh, there's so much you could do with these national parks, it doesn't matter though. It's my souvenir. It came from the visitor center at Old Faithful, so it's special. And I also, because Yellowstone, if you're not familiar with that, Grand Teton National Park is just a hop, skip, and a jump away. So of course we visited there, and I went to their visitor center so that I could get this one from there. And I picked up these pins. They sell these pins at all of the visitor centers, national parks, that are just for 99 cents. And you can keep them and put them in a little collector's book. But I made a needle minder out of it. It's not wanting to focus. Just says Grand Teton National Park on it, but I made a little needle minder. So I haven't stitched this one yet. And yes, so my finish is Old Faithful. And if you can see and look really closely, actually I posted this on Instagram. Oh, and I made a needle minder out of the pin I got from Old Faithful also, and I made a couple of changes, but one of the changes I made after the fact, after I put it on Instagram, is I decided to go over just the white part, the white threads in there, and add some sparkle. So I don't know if you can see that there, because I just wanted to give that water a little bit of sparkle. So is it showing? Kind of. You can kind of see a little bit of the sparkle there in the water. And I also added the word Old Faithful there, and I wanted to put 2016 because I did want to remember that that was the year that we were there. And I changed the color of the lettering. Yellowstone National Park was charted in this dark, real dark blue, and I decided to make Yellowstone yellow, and I just outlined it a bit with brown, backstitched around parts of it, and then did a brown there because I thought that just added a little more color to it. So I was thinking, because this needle minder, you know, was purchased there, I was almost thinking about framing it in some kind of a shadow box and like placing, you know, actually placing the needle minder there and keeping it there and just, you know, framing it with that. What do you think, guys? Think that'd be a good idea? You know, still, because I don't know what I'd use that needle minder on anymore, because I'm not stitching anything else from Yellowstone. So I don't know, I thought that would be kind of a neat thing to do on there. It kind of looks like a button. So yeah, I loved it. I loved Yellowstone. It's just one of those places. I don't know if you guys have a place like that. And I'm not much of a traveler. I don't travel a lot, but you know, I love being at home. I'm very much a home person, and as a matter of fact, when I'm going to go on a trip, I start to get very anxious about leaving my home. I just feel like, you know, I just start to get anxious. I don't know why. You know, but every time I go on a trip with my family, you know, we just always create so many memories, and I love it. But there was something about Yellowstone I really loved. You know, I just felt a connection with that place. I don't know why. I don't really have any reason to, but I just really, really liked it there. You know, I told my husband that, sorry for being so morbid, but I told him when I die, I want him to take my ashes there and like throw me into a geyser or something like that, even though that would be highly illegal. And he said he would be happy to take me and throw me somewhere in Yellowstone, but not in one of the geyser pools, or, you know, somewhere like that, something a little less conspicuous, I guess. Anyway, I don't know if you guys ever have conversations like that with your husband or significant other, but yeah, we do. We all know exactly what we want to happen to us when we pass on. So anyway, even though that is a lot to ask for somebody to do, you know. So anyway, while I was there in the gift shop, I found something so cool because I loved that place so much, and I got a map of Yellowstone on like a bandana. And it's so cool because if you've ever been to Yellowstone, there's like a figure-8 highway that goes through it. So there's a north, west, east, and south entrance you can go into. And then when you get in there, there's just like this highway that just sort of makes a figure-8, and you can loop around and see. And each part of it, you can see different things. You know, there's one part where you're more likely to see bears. And the part that we went, so we stayed in West Yellowstone, which is just outside of the Wyoming border, actually into Montana, and it's called West Yellowstone, the cutest little town. We stayed at a Grizzly RV park and resort, and so we were really close to the west entrance. And then when you go into the west entrance, so we would take this drive, and then this little drive all the way down here along this is just filled with, you know, the stuff that you think about when you go to Yellowstone. I mean, it's got the Grand Prismatic Spring, which is just gorgeous. You've got Old Faithful down here. I mean, you've got all these little stops along the way that you can just get out of your car and go walk on the boardwalk and just go out into, you know, this otherworldly place. It feels like almost kind of post-apocalyptic, you know, and especially if you go in the evening when the sun is low in the sky and everything's kind of golden yellow. I mean, it is just beautiful. I loved Yellowstone. My husband, he could kind of, you know, it was okay. He thought it was beautiful, but, you know, there was just something about that place. I just loved it. Anyway, I thought that I would just keep this because I could maybe... Okay, had a little storage issue. My phone ran out of storage, so I think I freed up a couple more minutes. So I only have a couple more minutes before I get cut off again, so I need to make it quick. Year of Whips, the face group Soulful Stitchers, I think it is. Melanie, hi Melanie, she started that, and I contemplated forever whether I was going to join that or not, and I did join the Facebook group, but I think that's about as far as I'm going to go with it. I should be doing it. I've got so many whips, guys, and I really want to whip those whips, but I don't know. I have commitment issues, so I joined the Facebook group, but I haven't actually officially decided to do my Year of Whips. I think I'm gonna be more a cheerleader, I think, and you know, I don't know. I'm gonna try to whip my whips sort of unofficially, but yeah, I should do that. Oh, and I did want to say, because I love the national parks, I know that you're probably thinking, Christine, did you know that Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, is that who it is that has the national parks? The mystery sampler, which I do know because I've been watching Crystal over at Fiber Artsy. Hi, Crystal. Oh, by the way, guys, if you haven't seen Crystal's Halloween tree yet, you got to check out her video. Love it. I really want one. I was thinking about getting one of those little ones that looks like a dead tree, you know, just to hang some of my Halloween ornaments on. But yeah, I like hers. Hers is much bigger and gold and cool. So, hi, Crystal. I love her videos too. What was I going to say? Anyway, yes, Year of Whips. Oh no, I was talking about the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I came so close to getting that, and I just didn't because, you know, I'm kind of already doing my national parks sort of stitch along as I'm getting them as I go to the actual national parks, and I thought that's, you know, that's probably enough. I don't necessarily need to do that one, but I don't know. I may still buy that one and keep it in my stash just in case I choose to do it at some point. But yeah, I may try to come back shortly, still this month, because I have a lot of Halloween finishes that I just want to show off because they never see the light of day. I never show them to anybody, and half of them I haven't even FFO'd, so I thought, you know, maybe I'll bring them out in October and have like an FO parade, basically, with my Halloween, my dark October, hashtag dark October stitching that I've done in the past. Because I've done a lot. I went to look through the magazines, the past Halloween issues of just cross stitch, and to look for things to stitch. If I get cut off, guys, that's just going to have to be the way it ends. But I've been looking back at those, and everything that I wanted to stitch that I thought was cute, it's like, I stitched that already. You know, and I thought, you know, I need to get some of those out because I really have, I think, done quite a few Halloween stitches that I have forgotten about. So I don't know, I'll bring those out and let them, you know, see some fresh air before they get packed away again. And that's it. I think I'm going to be getting a new hard drive on my computer, which is the main reason why I have such a hard time doing these videos, is because I just run out of space. I run out of space on my phone, I run out of space on my computer, and it's always just kind of a hassle. And so I'm going to be getting that done, yeah, this weekend. So maybe I can, dare I say, film more frequently. I don't know. And I always need a haircut when I do a Flosstube video. I realize my bangs are always hanging in my eyes. I am going to be getting a haircut, I think, this weekend. Hopefully. I did get some highlights though. This I was going to do them in the spring and never got around to it, and so finally got them done. Better late than never. Anyway, I think that's really all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching my video, because I know there's so many Flosstubers out there. Stitcherista, oh my God, that girl, you crack me up. I mean, you are funny. I put you like on the top of my list when I see your video come up. And just because I need a good laugh, and you always give me a good laugh. So anyway, yeah, there's so many. I want to give a shout out to Sandra Lynch. She's the Sunroom Stitcher. Hi, Sandra. I don't know, she doesn't have a lot. I think she's got about 500 subscribers now, but if you haven't seen her, I'll link her below. She is just the sweetest lady. I love listening to her videos. She sits out in her sunroom and she talks about birds and the weather, and she lives in Kansas City, and she has just got the most pleasant voice to listen to. I love to listen to her while I stitch, and she just talks about, she shows her stitching. She's got beautiful projects and has been stitching a lot of years, but she just has a very calming voice, and every time hers comes up, I thought, you know, I really need to I need to listen to her right away, because she's just very calming and soothing, and yeah, check her out, Sunroom Stitcher. That's it, guys. I think that's all I have to say for now. Yeah, if I think of anything else, I'll tack it on to the end of this, but I hope you all are having a wonderful stitchy day and a wonderful stitchy October. And until next time, see you later. Bye. Guys, I almost forgot to give a shout out to Pepe. I can't believe I forgot that. If you have not had the opportunity to say hi to Pepe or meet him yet, you should stop by McKenna's channel at Every Stitch Counts, I think. I hope I got that right. And meet Pepe. He is an unfortunate soul that met his demise doing this hobby that we love so much. But it looks like he has a great personality. So, hey Pepe, see you later. Bye.